As you would have just seen, Portugal is one beautiful country, and a few weeks ago I had the privilege of photographing it with a few friends, and so today I'm really excited to share with you the photos and the videos from that trip. I think when I was planning this trip to come to Europe, I had a few shots in mind that I really wanted to get, and Portugal really over-delivered on my first trip there, and enough to make me want to go back in a few more days. We spent the week in an Airbnb just out of the city of Lagos, and so we were really close to the old town and also the cliffs and a lot of the beaches. That's where I spent most of my time photographing and where all of the photos from today are going to feature. I captured them all on my Fujifilm XE-4 and the 23mm and 18-55 lenses. On our second or third day there, I asked my buddy Loic to drop me at the coast just so I could take a walk and really explore as a photographer and kind of enjoy the scenes. After I arrived, I didn't head down to the beach right away. There's this kind of cliff and a viewpoint you could walk over, and so I decided to explore the cliff to get a few shots looking down on everyone. This view really blew me away. It was such a busy day on the beach. There was tons of people on the sand, and the vantage point I had was incredible. This is where the 18-55 really stood out. Having that extra focal length to punch in from such a high point was really valuable because I got some really cool images out of it. Just seeing everyone lounging on the beach, enjoying the sunshine was really great for me because I got to photograph it from a different perspective. And honestly, this is the type of photo that I'd wanted to capture whilst in Portugal, being high up and seeing people down on a beach. So I was really stoked early on, and honestly could have gone home, but because I am a professional, I decided to keep photographing the awesome light and location and decided to make my way down onto the beach after a little longer on the cliffs. So once I got onto the sand, I decided to have a little beach set up myself. I think there's nothing more awkward or cringe than a photographer fully dressed, backpack on, snapping away on a beach of all places. It's something that attracts too much attention and can make a lot of people there uncomfortable, which is something you don't want in your frames, especially mine, when I kind of want that candid look. So I decided to blend in, sat on the beach, went for a swim myself, and then only started to take photos where I saw fit. It was so cool to see so many people on the beach from all over the world. You could hear a bunch of different languages, but the most prominent would have to be British tourists, which I was told is a really popular spot there. But either way, seeing everyone lounging on the sand, just enjoying the beach was really great, and it gave me a really cool opportunity to snap away at some of those photos I really wanted. I like to look at images like this with this idea that everyone in the frame has a different story. They're going through something different in their life. They're on their own holiday. They could just be locals, but either way, at the end of the day, no matter where you're from, you're still there enjoying the beach just like everyone else. And you could think that's a bit weird, but I think it's really cool seeing all these different people in one frame doing the same thing. I managed to get a few shots of people kayaking, but I was also spotting quite an alarming rate of naked old people on these beaches, so I decided to move on and go make my way into the old town, because by that time the sun was low enough that old town was cool enough to walk around in, and a lot of the colours starting to pop. By the time I made it into Old Town, everyone was out getting an early dinner. It was about 8:30, and so the light was low enough that I was able to get some really nice shots in the streets. One massive thing I was noticing about the Old Town of Lagos were the colors. If you've seen my work or been following me for a while, you know that vibrant images are my kind of thing, and so walking around a town with a lot of color was honestly so exciting, and it meant for a lot of images that I was really stoked with. So after a few hours of walking around Old Town, all the streets became too shadowy to photograph, so I decided to call it a day. So the next day, my friends and I decided to head to the beach, and so when we arrived, we actually took a bit of a hike along the cliffs. The surrounding area around Lagos has all these incredible cliffs right along the coast, and for me, that's a really cool thing to photograph. After all of 20 minutes, we decided to head back down because it was so hot, and fortunately, because there was a beach right there, we decided to pull up, put our towels out, and go for a bit of a swim. It was here on the beach that I managed to capture my favorite images from my trip in Portugal and even in Europe. While we were sitting on the beach, we noticed this silver fox of a Portuguese guy just dribbling the soccer ball, and so I hopped up and tried to get a few wide-angle shots of him playing soccer on the beach. I was so happy while photographing because it just looked so perfect, and I made sure to drop my aperture down to f2. This was a creative decision I made in the moment because I wanted a bit of separation between him and all the people in the background. I'm really glad I did this because I think it makes the image pop quite a lot, because the photos I did get at f5 or f6 didn't look as cool, so I'm really glad I made that change midway. And after a few more photos, I decided to go up to him and introduce myself, say hello. He was this super nice guy. He was actually the goalkeeper for one of the higher division teams in the town, which was crazy because his tech was insane. And so my friend PY started to play soccer with him, and I began to snap away, and he was kind enough to let me take a portrait of him too. This moment is something I really love about traveling and travel photography, because this guy, we had an awesome interaction with him. We played soccer with him on the sand, and I also captured some incredible photos of him just enjoying himself and doing what he does every day. It's just another example of being able to go up to people and just introduce yourself, be kind, say hello, and ask to take their photo. You can walk away with some of the most incredible images, and to be honest, I'm really stoked that I went up to him. I was a bit shy at first for sure, because he was just incredible at playing soccer, and I'm glad I went up to him because I walked away with some awesome photos. So overall, this trip to Lagos was a really great experience for me because it meant I got to experiment with a bunch of different photography styles whilst also just enjoying the landscapes. The southern part of Portugal is one beautiful place, and the people are so lovely. So if you are traveling to Europe, be sure to add it to your list. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video and also the photos I captured. I was really proud of them, so I hope you did like them as well. Be sure to let me know which ones are your favorite, which ones stood out for you, and really if you just liked the video overall. So be sure to give this video a like, hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.